Hello fellow Gunters. Sorry if I'm very late with this complete Gunlance progression path. I wanted to do it Sunday morning but ended up stuck with some family business. Of course, since this is about the full game, I will not avoid mentioning monsters or showing the weapons. I will not show the monsters. The point of the video is to show you the optimal Gunlance at any point of the current game and also the best of each type if you still are a shell type royalist who refuses to use nothing but one type for reasons. I already did a video about the progression for low rank and I'm going to assume most of you have beaten the campaign already. I will still repeat the paths for low rank and explain how power changes the output of the weapon in a more brief way. I will not include the demonstrations again to make it a little shorter and to the point. The biggest change in Monster Hunter Wilds is that shelling now scales straight up from your total attack. The more attack the base weapon has, the better, and everything that buffs attack from offensive guard to attack boost, also do it with shelling. But this brings up the problem that then the weapons with the highest attack will dominate over all others, being both stronger at melee attacks and shelling. To balance this, they have changed the old level system with power. Shelling power has 3 values: weak, normal and strong. You will find these at Gunlances from the start. Looking at the table, a normal Gunlance has 30% stronger shelling at the same attack than a weak one. A strong has a 60% more powerful shelling. When comparing a normal Gunlance with a strong one, multiply the strong Gunlance attack by 1.22 to get the equivalent if it were a normal one. A 22% is a lot of difference and nothing like a minor adjustment. Likewise, weak power Gunlances are crippled beyond help, being ridiculously underperforming compared to the strong ones. The theory is that the Gunlances with the most attack should have a normal or weak modifier, while a weapon with low attack because has higher affinity or stronger elemental stat should have a strong power. But for whatever reason this is not what happens and the power values are all over the place. And at all around the road, the best Gunlances have the highest attack available and also a power of strong. But I am not complaining because that means that the Gunlance in Monster Hunter Wilds is busted. Absurdly strong with devastating power that ignores defenses. It is also important to note that in this game, attacks modified by shelling have a lot more impact than melee attacks. No shelling attack is affected by affinity, element or sharpness, and you may almost disregard these when comparing Gunlances. Affinity is still used for the Wormstake cannon and the focus strike, and should be wise to use a skill like agitator to negate a negative affinity, but investing heavily in critical is a fool's errand when attack buffs all parts of the weapon. You can't buff the native fire damage of shelling attacks with fire attack decorations, but the artillery skill will add some extra fire to these attacks. About elements, the only Gunlance specific attack that can apply it is the focus strike, Drake Augur. But since it hits a hell of a times per use, they have balanced it by reducing their value by 1/10 of their value per hit. All this stuff also causes problems with the balance between shell types, but about that later. Now that the brief summary of concepts is out of the way, we can start with the progression. The very second monster you fight in the game is Quemetris, and it ironically comes with the very best normal Gunlance branch for the whole game. At any point of the game will be the best normal Gunlance you can find. At low rank you can upgrade it once you reach the caves with a fire stone. I don't recommend looking at any other Gunlance until you meet Rathalos. Normal game is very one-dimensional, based around spamming the Wormstake full blast. But this attack is insane and you must dominate it, the sooner the better. So this is the best weapon to practice on it. At this point, before Rathalos, wide and long Gunlance options aren't good. Both shell types are very penalized because their initial shell capacity being only 2 and 3, and you will spend most of the time reloading more than attacking the monster. But if you want to just use these, then your options are the Bone series for wide and the Ore series for long. The Ore series are in fact the only long Gunlance you can get at this point. About the Bone series, they have yellow sharpness that is bad, but as said, most your damage is not bothered by it. It also comes with attack boost, making it do a little more damage than it should. For wide types you should craft the Asia Monkey Gunlance that comes with load shells. This one is also good to craft now because you will upgrade it later. After you meet Rathalos, then the flow of the game changes and the game throws you back to back with 2 very strong wide Gunlances. First is the Guardian Rathalos Gunlance. It has 20 more attack than Quemetris, that is a 14% difference on melee, and this extra power and shelling that makes burst fire of both Gunlances be very close. And shortly after you also get access a yet another wide Gunlance with even more attack. The Guardian Arkveld Gunlance tree, Gark Gunlance for short, is the strongest gunlance upgrade path in the game. At this point it even gives you 2 decoration slots. That is another reason why this gunlance outclasses Quemetris. Hunting guardian monsters and using the melding pot, you can get any level 1 decoration in the game. This includes the skills load shells and artillery. If you happen to luck this early into 2 of these, then the power will skyrocket. The Gark Gunlance is so powerful at this point that once you get into high rank you can keep using it for a while. At early high rank your main objective should be getting some load up decorations and increasing your hunting rank. The load shell skill breaks the game, making wide gunlances burst do as much damage than a normal with the same attack stat. And wide gunlances have higher attack. Things are that way. Remember that you can play a wide gunlance like a normal one, just spamming burst fire and worms take full blast, and you aren't penalized for that. Meanwhile you might consider using the high rank Quemetris, but at that point you also have access to the high rank Ajarakan Gunlance that comes with load up included. Because Ajarakan Gunlance is just of normal power, it deals less damage per shell than using the low rank Gark Gunlance, but as said, load shells too is a huge boost in power. If you happen to chance with 2 load shells decoration, you may ignore this gunlance and keep going. For long royalists the best early gunlance is Gypsyros with good attack, strong shelling and poison status. Without load shells it is a bit stronger than the low rank Gark. Once you get either 2 level 1 load shells decorations or a level 2 one, that is possible hunting monsters who rewards you with the yellow icon, you can progress on the 3. When you reach the zone of the high rank guardian monsters, then you get the option to upgrade your Gark Gunlance. This first upgrade has 210 attacks and once again is vastly more powerful than anything else at this power level. Ironically, having green sharpness is a blessing since it allows you to consider the use of the blunt weapon skill for a 10% extra attack without sacrifices. With that gunlance you will demolish everything on the way until you beat what is left of the high rank campaign. After the campaign is clear, then you get access to the final tiers of the weapons. Once again, the Gark one is busted with 240 attacks and also now comes with 2 level 3 slots and 1 level 1. All other options have just 1 level 3, and this one is extra useful because level 3 decorations usually come with the 2 points of load shells you need plus 1 extra bonus like the final point of guard or attack boost. For the final slot, you can slot almost anything there. Offensive Guard is a very good general skill for gunlance, being a very easy to proc 5% extra damage. And if you slot 1 focus, it will boost your wyvern fire gauge by 5%. This allows you to recover 1 full stock with the combo of charged shell, sweep and worms take full blast. About long and normal gunlances. As always, the best normal gunlance is Quemetris. If it had the same attack than Gark Gunlance, then it would be the best using burst fire, but it has 20 less attack and one of the decoration slots is level 2 and that kills any chance of it being better. For long, you have both Gyaosaurus and Gravios Gunlances. Gravios has 10 more attacks but negative affinity. The advantage of long gunlance are using the wormstake and auger, and these are affected by affinity. The minus 15% affinity of Gravios really hurts its performance in that sense, and I don't feel it is superior. I want to visit the long gunlances and do a breakdown of these and really see what they are good for, since right now they are kind of a jack of all trades. Likewise, the artian gunlances are very oriented toward elemental and affinity, and I haven't been able to reach strong shelling with these. The only way I can see them work is with a build very focused into affinity, but that requires a lot of time and praying to randomness. This is all. The easy short version of this video is that you must use the Quemetris Gunlance until you get access to the Gark Gunlance, and then keep upgrading that one, with some side farming to get good load up decorations, until it becomes the strongest. For my next video I'm focusing into armor skills. Agitator, Burst, Counterstrike, Partbreaker and Flayer all seem to be the strongest options. Flayer for me is all in mystery and want to do a deep research into it. This is all. Thanks for watching and see you in the hunt.